Hello, everyone. How's it going? I'm Reaper John. It's Monday, uh, and the Dungeon Dweller Kickstarter has just went live, probably about 2 minutes ago. I just wanted to start a little bit afterwards, just in case anything went wrong. I didn't want to start right away. Um, but yes, it has gone live. Let me put the link in chat. I gotta pull it up first, but yeah, on Twitch chat, that is. If you just go to Kickstarter and you type in Dungeon Dwellers RPG, it shall pop up. And you type in Dungeon Dwellers RPG, double play there. But welcome. Ron is the one who pushed the button. He is sitting at his desk currently. He might be joining us a little bit later. He just wants to make sure everything goes smooth, just in case. He's the one that's updating all the graphics and everything for the Kickstarter, just like normal for all of our other Kickstarters. And I believe Joseph is on a plane. So Joseph Wolf is the main writer for us over here at Reaper, and he put a lot of work into the Dungeon Dweller RPG. Him and Ron both. They are the main two that have been putting a lot of work into this, and so they've been going crazy. But yes, a lot of the work on their end has been going there. So there you can go look at all the stuff. We're going to go over the Kickstarter page today. This is going to be kind of just a quick little stream just to monitor how everything's going. But yes, let's head on over there. So the Kickstarter page is live, as you can see here. And if you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to put them in chat. You know, I have everybody here. So I'll answer what I can, and then I can queue them up for Ron whenever Ron joins us later, probably for the last 30 minutes or so. Yeah, he's going to let me know when he's ready. Ron doesn't need a big ego boost. That's true. Are you guys excited about Dungeon Dweller RPG? I am. I'm excited. Maybe we can start doing some more playtests and some more games here over on all of our streaming platforms. Now that we're on all the different platforms, it'd be nice if we can get maybe some Joseph Wolf GM action, maybe some other GMs come into the studio and play some games. It's been live for a couple of minutes. How long? What time is it? 6 minutes or so. It has been live. And like I said, we're going to get Ron in here later. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in chat, and I'll queue them up for Ron later, I think. But I guess we can start by just watching the video that Kit made for the front page here. So we'll start with this. It's like reaction.
World of monsters and adventure, of heroes and villains, of might and magic, of fame and friendship.
Good animated graphics, by the way.
Blends the spirit of old school gaming with modern design sensibilities for a fresh take on role-playing games. The result? A system that gets out of your way and lets you play. Say goodbye to cumbersome and tedious rules. Gather 3 to 6 of your closest friends and play the new Dungeon Dwellers RPG.
RPG. Shout out to Kit for making that. So as we can see, just like our normal Kickstarter pages, let's look at the pledge goals first. So the available rewards, obviously the Dungeon Dwellers RPG Digital Edition, so you get all of your PDFs. And I believe any other PDFs that unlock after, like in stretch goals, you'll get all of those as well. Includes all unlocked digital ones. There's the Dungeon Dwellers miniatures. I believe this is just the miniatures level. Includes the same miniatures that are included in the collector's box, which are the 4 models. And it also includes all miniature-only stretch goals. So this pledge here. So any miniatures that get unlocked during the Kickstarter campaign, this pledge right here will get all of those. Middle of the action, that's right, in the dungeon. Another stretch goal would be the print edition. So this gives you all of the 3 printed books, the Player's Guide, the Game Master's Vault, and the Denizens of the Dungeon. You'll get all 3 of these hardback copies of those books, and any other print edition pledges that get unlocked. So any of the print edition. This is the biggest bang for your buck right here, the Dungeon Dwellers RPG Collector's Box right here, the $100 pledge. This gives you all 3 hardbacks, all the PDFs, miniatures. It has a bunch of stuff in it, and this is kind of the main one. So you get the PDF. That's the PDF edition. Here we go. Where's the collector's box? There it is. So over here on the right, let me blow these up for you. You get all the hardbacks, all the PDFs. They're behind me here. The Dungeon Dweller role-playing dice, the cardstock fortune tokens, and the Dungeon Dweller miniatures. Additional add-ons you can add on as well, if you wish. That's in the reward section. I believe that is all of the pledge levels. Yep, that's all the pledge levels. Which pledges are you guys going for in chat? Let's see, the Shadow Raven. The Shadow Raven says they're in for a box set. Nice. I think the box set's going to be really nice, especially all the hardback stuff. If you guys are into having your hardback books and everything like that, I think the quality is going to be very nice. And we should be getting some sample of those soon. And obviously, we're going to see some more stuff that's in the Kickstarter as the Kickstarter goes on. So this Kickstarter lasts for 19 days. And so you're going to see a lot of stuff throughout that. I'm assuming we'll probably have some interviews with Ron and Mr. Wolf talking about like what the plans are and some detailed feature things. We might get to look at some pages. So if you look down at the Kickstarter, you can see some of the pages, because I know this is all written up and it's all ready to go. And so these are just some mock-ups of kind of what the pages are going to look like with some of the cool art that you can see here. But yeah, I would expect a lot of previews and showing off of art and stuff in the updates for this Kickstarter. Ron's been working very hard on this, so I know he's very excited, and he's kind of he's a little stressed as well. I know this is something that Ron's been wanting to do for many years, and he'll talk about it when he comes on as well. I'll ask him, but I know that he's been wanting to do this for many years, and it's kind of like a dream of his, especially along with Joseph as well. Ron, stressed. Let's see, PDF. This is one from the Shadow Raven. Oop, there it is. It says, PDF is going to get more use, but I'm a proud hoarder of neat stuff. Yes, I think the collector's box is going to be a fun thing to collect, as it says, but it also has everything. It's kind of like the all-in, where you get everything. But yes, I think the PDF will get more use, especially now that more people are playing with iPads and things like that. I think it's a lot easier to sit down at the table with maybe an iPad that you have all your different pages and stuff on that you can look through, instead of having a folder and all your papers. You have to take them all out and everything like that, and you have to kind of sort through stuff and things like that. That's my thinking behind it. That's a good question. Mike M. So will the minis be available from Reaper direct after the Kickstarter, likely at a higher cost, or are they Kickstarter exclusive? I don't know the answer to that question right now, but when Ron comes on later, we can ask him. But I'm pretty sure, if I had to guess, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get it wrong. But Ron will let me know later on about the miniatures. Hard copy all the way from Lords of Furious. I agree. But yes. Thanks for joining us for our launch stream. I know it's not as extravagant as we've had in the past. It's just that everybody's so busy that I'm over here, so I might as well do it. Ron's pressing the button and he's sitting at his desk putting out fires. and I believe Mr. Wolf is on a plane, so he could not join the live stream today. But we might be able to get him on later on during the middle of the Kickstarter, maybe later this week. All right, let's take a look at this Kickstarter page, shall we? What is Dungeon Dwellers? It's built from the foundation of fantasy role-playing games we all know and love. The familiar concepts of classic role-playing are still intact, but many things have been retooled and updated. I think that's going to be a common theme as we go through. They wanted to kind of symbolize everything. Yes, Ron is setting up his hot tub cam. He will be, hopefully he joins us later. If you haven't seen on reapermini.com, there is a very nice section for the Dungeon Dwellers RPG. So if you head over to reapermini.com and you head on over here, this is a good page built by our own Daryl. And so a lot of the stuff that is in the Kickstarter, and there's a lot of stuff over here that's not in the Kickstarter as well. So this will answer a lot of people's questions for the Kickstarter. I'm in for the minis pledge, but we'll probably upgrade to the collector's box, and you will be able to have that option as well. But the Dungeon Dweller stuff, a lot of the stuff, like information-wise about magic and monsters and mechanics, characters, and just kind of general stuff for the Dungeon Dwellers role-playing game are all over here on Dungeon Dwellers RPG on reapermini.com. And this will be updated frequently with any updates or information and things like that throughout the Kickstarter. It has a very robust FAQ section. So if you have questions about character creation, just click on this and it'll do a little drop down about character, what we anticipated for character creation FAQ. So the FAQ is already pretty thoroughly fleshed out there. What kind of art will be in the book? To my knowledge, a lot of the artwork was done by Max Dunbar. So as we look through some of the pages, you've seen some of the art if you've been watching Reaper Live and things like that. But it's a lot of this line art that you can see here, like this dwarf. Max Dunbar, I believe there is a owlbear and some other things like this. You can see some here. Old concept art and things like that. I really like this style of art, so I'm glad that the book is going to be filled with it. It's probably some of my favorite art that we've done. There's the owlbear art you can see there, and some of the books. But I would expect a lot of videos and stuff in the updates section for this Kickstarter, especially with Ron and Joseph talking, probably mostly Joseph talking about rules and kind of the idea and the philosophy behind magic and how those systems are going to progress. And then here we see our Reaper Classic Kickstarter map. And this is not going to be like a normal kind of Reaper Kickstarter, because Reaper Kickstarters normally have all miniatures, just miniatures full stop. And so there are some miniatures to be unlocked in this map and on this pledge, like throughout the pledges and stuff like that. But I don't think it's going to go crazy and you're going to have thousands of miniatures. It's primarily focused on Dungeon Dwellers, the books, and the systems and things like that as a whole, getting it all ready. I love Max Dunbar's art. Yep. A full monster preview. Yeah. But this is the Kickstarter map, and this will be getting updated as pledges get unlocked and everything like that. And this was done by the Forge Studios, as you can see right here. And you can, if you want to go check him out, there's a link right there on the page. Go check it out. Here's the pledge levels again, what it's talking about. Just kind of a more physical breakdown of kind of showing you what you're getting. So obviously the Dungeon Dwellers Collector's Box is probably going to be the biggest bang for your buck to get everything. Hardbacks and PDFs, the dice, the tokens. I know Ron mentioned that the fortune tokens are starting out as cardstock, but as later, if the pledges get high enough, they'll become metal, and we'll be able to make them here. These are the 4 iconic heroes that the box starts with. So you have the halfling, the mage, the fighter, and the dwarf. Those are the 4 miniatures, and I believe The plan is, I know in the FAQ it asks what material these models are going to be made out of, and I believe it's going to be, the plan is to try to primarily print all of these. If the Kickstarter goes crazy, then we might have to make some of them in the COcast Dungeon Bones USA plastic here in our factory. So, and I believe Ron has hinted at maybe 30 models being teased in the Kickstarter if it gets up to that much. I don't want to give away too much, but I know he teased that much. But these are the first 4 that the box comes with. And if you get the collector's box, it says right here, all collector's box stretch goals. So as things get unlocked, your box will get bigger and have more stuff in it if the pledges go crazy. Just like normal Kickstarter. Normal Reaper Kickstarter, that is. We have the Dungeon Dwellers print edition. So this gets you your PDFs, the rulebooks, the tokens, and then all those stretch goals. So it's just kind of an incremental, you see how it goes when you look at all the pledges. Oh, that's a good question from Z Mishkal. This is going to be a good question for Ron as well. Looking way down the road, will Reaper be writing tons of modules, or will there be a pathway for third-party module writers? I know Joseph already has quite a bit of modules already up on our reapermini.com, and I know that he likes doing those, and I would expect to have more. I don't know about third-party. I would have to ask Ron and them, but I personally don't see the issue, but we'll have Ron be the arbiter of that. This is kind of their project, and so I'm just kind of showing it off. Thanks, Moth. Dwarf with a plan. Let's see, what does Dwarf with a plan says? Have you done any playtests of the DDRPG system yet? What's the first impressions about it compared to other systems? So during ReaperCon this past year, we had about 4 or 5 DMs that were all running DDRPG systems. And they were all running their games using DDRPG, and they got a lot of feedback from the players. And then all the DMs would get together every night, and they would talk about feedback that the players had and things like that. So that was the biggest playtest that we did, was at ReaperCon this like a month ago, 2 months ago. And then we've done some playtests in-house with some of our employees. Though we streamed a couple of those, so if you go to our YouTube channel, Reaper Miniatures YouTube channel, and type in DDRPG, you'll find all that information there. And I think they're going to put the playtests on the page as well. I gave him the videos earlier today, so he's going to work on putting those up. But it came in 3 parts. I was in a couple of the playtests as well. Dwarf with a Plan. And yeah, we did some tests last ReaperCon as well. Let me see. Let me fix my thing here. There we go. But the cool thing is, one of my favorite things is the initiative system. I don't think it's changed very much from whenever I play tested it. And from what I've gathered from a couple of the other people as well, is that initiative is rolled every round. And I thought that this was going to be very like cumbersome at first, just because, you know, when you normally do combat, you say everybody's numbers, and the range of the numbers is from 0 to 20, normally on a 20-sided die. And so you have to remember all that and type it all in and things like that. But this initiative system is rolled every round, and it's based on the weapon that you're using. So smaller weapons have a like a higher die, like a D12, for instance, for daggers or smaller weapons and things like that. But as your weapons get higher, and you're either if they're versatile and you're like using 2 hands for like a big maul or something like that, it changes the initiative die that you're using. So you'll roll a D12, a D8, a D10, you know, a D6, and so you'll kind of jump up the ladder or down the ladder depending on if it's a smaller weapon, you know, your proficiency and things like that. But it sounds a little cumbersome at first, but it actually works out great in the middle of storytelling and combat. That's one of my favorite things, is the combat storytelling, because let's say you missed your attack last round, or you saw your teammate take a brutal critical hit or something like that, and it kind of scared you or it shook you. So then that would explain why you got initiative a lower initiative roll that round, and so you can kind of tie story elements into that, kind of the die rolls kind of dictating in combat story instead of just being numbers, damage, things like that. I'm just checking up on some comments here. Yeah. And you'll see some of the world building stuff. We'll try to get Joseph on for an interview. I know that he's really excited, and we'll probably do another follow-up live stream throughout the campaign's history, throughout the 19 days. We'll probably check in and do some periodic check-in live streams and things like that, and that correlate with some of the updates and things like that. But the initiative system I'm really happy about. That was kind of my first big shock. And then the like learning like skills and things like that, they're tied to your background and how you grew up and who your family is and like what your background is. So if you like grew up on a sailor, like if you grew up as a sailor, you obviously know your way around a boat and things like that. So you'll have proficiency with things like that. But let's say you get into a situation where you're not that, and then, but the way that I was explained to it by Joseph, I believe, this is how it still works, is that as you go through your campaign and your characters do things that they're not proficient in, the more that they do it, the more proficient they get into it. So if you are trying to lockpick, but you've never lockpicked before, you're obviously not proficient in it, but the more that you do it, you'll start to get more proficient with that. So it's just kind of like another progression system in that way. Oh, that's a good idea. Here we go. Smoth says, will you guys consider putting monster profiles on the mini page? I don't see why that could not happen. And a good place to put that would probably be on the extra images for the model. I could see that being the case, or coding it to where it fits on the miniature page itself that way. So like, for instance, if you go to reapermini.com and we go to a miniature, let's just go to a random miniature, like this killer ape that released today. But you could put them in these pictures here. You see how these pictures all different pictures? We could probably put them attached to that. That would make the most sense right there on this page to have the whatchamacallit, the monster profiles, or the miniature profiles, that for that matter. Like if it's an NPC and it has an NPC like stat block or something like that, I think that'd be very fun. But yes, I'm excited to see how everything goes, like how things progress over the next 19 days. I got to get all the ads and stuff ready for today. I was waiting for the Kickstarter to go launch, so you'll start to see ads and stuff being played and videos and things like that for the Kickstarter. But yeah, we'll see how it goes over the next 19 days. No sound? That might be on your end, Carrie. That might be on your end. I think everybody else can hear me just fine. I would check your settings on Facebook. But yeah, trying to wait for Ron, if Ron's going to join or not. He hasn't texted me. Hopefully he joins. Let's see. No, he's not ready. We'll wait. We'll see what Ron has to say when he joins us. He can come save me. But let's finish looking at the rest of the page. I can't wait to get we do have some samples like here at Reaper. We have some spiral bound samples to kind of what the layout and what the pages are kind of look like. And I can't wait to get some physical tests of the hardback books. We'll post a video of that when we get it. But the card stock is very nice. It's going to be very thick and very nice. I like the background of all the pages. They kind of look like this. All right, perfect shadow. Thank you guys. Will there be a revised beta for backers? I believe so, Z. There might be some PDFs put into an update if anybody wants to do the beta rules. So right now we have a current beta rules that we ran for like Kickstarter or for the ReaperCon and things like that. I'll ask Ron and see if we can put a PDF of those things up as well. But the cardstock is going to be very nice, and I'm excited. I like hardback books, as does Ron. If anybody has taken a tour of his office, you guys will know that he loves hardback books and things like that. So hopefully Ron can get in here soon. I know he's listening. I know he can hear me. But yes, like I said, a lot of your questions are going to be answered over on the Reaper Miniatures Dungeon Dwellers page. There's a lot of stuff in here, like calling our characters folk, the ability scores. This is just a mock-up of kind of what the character sheet's going to look like. This is just a mock-up, so it's not final yet. But talking about the first 4 classes that are going to be on launch. So we have clerics, fighters, rogues, and wizards. And so those are our first 4, and many more to be added. And this is kind of like what I was talking about with the skills and the backgrounds and things like that. They're kind of built on your culture, your upbringing, and what like trades and stuff you've done in the past. So yeah, we're using the initial 6, strength, dex, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Just using those just like normal. But yeah, mechanics. Here's some of the proficiency and non-proficiency that I was talking about. Saving, throwing, spellcasting. I'm excited to see what they do with the magic system. I know Joseph has talked a lot about it, how it's going to be easily scaled and things like that, and how, higher level spells are going to be available kind of lower level, but then able to scale them up, especially with things like let's say you have like a fog spell, and it starts off as like a 2x1 like square, 10x5 fog, and then as you add levels to it, you can increase like the length of it, how it goes, or the shape of it. Maybe it goes in a square, maybe it goes in a line. So like as you add more spell points into it, and as you level it up, you can change the properties of it in that way, like the radius, how big it is, the shape of it, how much damage it does, things like that. So I think that's pretty cool. That's a cool way to do it. It looks like we are. Let's check in on the numbers, the tickers. I don't have the tickers on the page yet, but I will for the future. Oh, we just jumped up 10,116 backers. Over halfway there. Yes, Smoth. He's on a plane right now, but we will do another live stream with Mr. Wolf. We'll get him on here as well. Let's see. Yeah, Smoth. Hey, Balrog. How's it going? We're just doing kind of the button pressing of the Kickstarter going live. There was a lot of streams today for Reaper Miniatures, so we had Anne right before this. We have us right now just kind of meandering through the Dungeon Dwellers role-playing game Kickstarter. And then we have Rhonda right after this. So Rhonda will be on stream just right after this. Here in about 30-ish minutes. So we'll probably go for another 15 to 20, and then we'll get ready for Rhonda to do her show today. Balrog says he's all in. You're all in? You got the collector's box, Balrog? I'm excited for you. I think it's going to be awesome. Especially as we start adding more things and things start getting fleshed out over the next coming year and everything like that. So, yeah. Let's see if there's anything that I missed down here. Do we know what the first stretch goal is? I haven't seen it on here. Maybe. Oh, I think it is on the map. Duh. No, it's not. It just has the cost. It doesn't have what it is. Let me refresh the page and see if the graphics got updated. Nope, no graphic update. Ron's a busy man. I know that he was still working on graphics this morning. I saw people talking before the chat about this guy. We need to name him. I don't know if Ron has named him yet, or Joseph. I don't know if they've named this guy yet. I'm sure he has a name. But if you guys have any cool name suggestions, let me know. Z, this is a good question, and I know the answer to this one. So Z asks, is there a max level for DDRPG? Right now, the initial max level will be 10. It will be 10. I think that's a good starting number. And we will probably likely get Joseph and Ron's input on why they are starting with the max level of 10. But yeah, if you keep asking, if you guys keep asking questions, I will log them, and I will make sure that whenever we do our big follow-up stream with Joseph Wolf and Ron, that we can talk about all your questions and things like that, especially in the comments for the Kickstarter. If you guys want to comment in the Kickstarter as well, comment here. I will be able to come back and pull from these as well. So don't be afraid to ask questions, even if I don't know the answer to them, which some of them I will likely not. So just saying. It was mentioned that the monster book cover was temporary. I believe Denizens of the Dungeon, I think that might be the final, but well, I will make sure in follow-up streams and things like that for the Kickstarter. Thanks, Smart Goblin. Sir Edward the Dreadscale. That's a good name. Need to bring Casket Works back? Yeah. Maybe like a PDF Casket Works. These miniatures are great as well. Good decision, Smart Goblin. And all right, let's scroll down. So about the team. So we have Mr. Wolf and Ron. I want to ask Ron when he comes on why he chose this picture. Is this like an old school picture that Ron really likes or something like that? That'd be really funny. But if you guys want to know, like I said, these are primarily the two guys that have been working hard. They've been, breaking their back for the past year, 2 years possibly. I know that Ron's been talking about this for a long time. And we finally hired Joseph on as our main writer for a lot of stuff. And so they've been going full ham on all this stuff. So if you guys want to read about them here, these are their kind of quick little bios. But yes. Here's a little big thanks to all the DDRPG playtesters that happened at ReaperCon. Big thank you to all of them. We had Kai Parker, Sharon Dawson, Rob Stone, Carrie Hatner, Rose Huntwolf, Chris Lewis, Glenn Harris, and Daniel Canizares, John Healy. A lot of our playtesters and things like that as well for the DDRPG at ReaperCon. It was a good time. A lot of the art for DDRPG was made by these lovely people here. We had Wayne Reynolds, Max Dunbar, Izzy, Gene, Brian Syme, Kristen Van Patten, Mike Faley, and Jim Halloway. I did a lot of the art and stuff that's going to be inside of the books and things like that. Ron did that to make us confused? Probably. This is a good question. I wonder, obviously Ron will be able to do this, but how old is the Dungeon Dweller line of minis? Is the RPG an update to some old document? So from my knowledge, is that the Dungeon Dweller is an old line of miniatures that I believe that Reaper obtained the license to a long time ago. And they used to have a bunch of things like that. But yes, I know that if you guys have noticed, we changed a couple of our lines in the Reaper miniature line over the past year and a half to kind of align with the Dungeon Dweller name. And so a lot of that stuff was in preparation for the DDRPG role-playing game. Yeah, and Dungeon Dwellers, I believe, is one of the first, or it's an old miniature line. And so this is kind of us doing a more modern update to it, and I know it's near and dear to Ron's heart, I know, and Joe's heart as well. Yeah, there is Izzy art in here. Let's see. I'm just catching up on chat. There we go. Just making sure I got caught up, not missing anything. Oh, I hear people. Yes, and just like normal, we're going to have our Reaper Pledge Manager as well, just like normal. So if anybody has ever done any Reaper Kickstarter in the past, we're going to have our Reaper Pledge Manager where you'll be able to change your address, change all that stuff leading up to before it closes. You'll be able to add extra minis, extra books, and things like that. If you wish, anything that's extra as an add-on in this Kickstarter, you'll be able to add in the Reaper Pledge Manager leading up to whenever we go to close it, and then it'll be closed. But it'll work primarily the same. So you'll be able to log in, you'll be able to manage your pledge and lock it in, make sure that it's final, and things like that. Plus, this is how we sync up our the funds from Kickstarter to the Pledge Manager. So make sure that you use the same email. So you'll be able to go in and provide shipping, your shipping information and things like that. But make sure that you sign up using the same email. It should be really self-explanatory. You can read the shipping information here. We're probably going to work just like our Bone 6 Kickstarter, where we see how much it's going to weigh and everything like that. And then we send you an email for how much shipping is going to be. And then we'll ship it once you pay your shipping. So it's going to be kind of a first in, first out kind of a situation. So as soon as you get your email, you pay for your shipping. And as soon as you pay for your shipping, the order will be printed. We'll pull it, and then we'll ship it to you. Most likely, the AU stuff will come from our AU warehouse. Like we'll send it from here to the AU, and then AU will ship it from there. And then for the UK, we'll ship it to our UK warehouse, and then it will come from our UK warehouse. Things like that might change. We might be able to find an EU warehouse that might be able to ship within EU. We're still talking about that, but nothing I have heard has been final. We'll put an update just in case if that happens, because we're looking for that for Bone 6 as well, just so you know. And just all the normal stuff for the backer responsibility and the refund policy. Those are just like normal for all of our other Kickstarters. All of our social media links. If you're in Twitch chat, you can see them here as well. Will there be extra add-ons put in after the Kickstarter closes? Dr. Bob says, I haven't talked to Ron about that, but maybe when he gets on, if he gets on, he can let us know. But I'll keep this for a follow-up conversation with the two creators. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't be here today, but I'll try to get them in sometime this week. We'll post on all of our social medias if we do a follow-up stream, when we do a follow-up stream with those two, and they'll be able to talk about everything DDRPG. So I'm sorry that I can't answer most questions. I'm just here as a arbiter of launching it. But yes. Encounter sets, Monster Slayer Boss says. Ooh, that's a good little hint, nudge, nudge. We've been doing some stuff with the sets, if you guys have noticed, especially with, if you look at our DDRPG on reeferindie.com, the couple of scenarios and things that were put out, they had minis associated with them. So you could buy them as a bundle, so you can get all of them if you wanted to run that that little module. It had the miniatures with it. So I can maybe foresee something like that coming in the future. So I can foresee that being a thing in the future. When do we get to see some stretch goals? That's a good question. I don't have any control, but as soon as Ron does it, we'll see it. 14,432. Look, 14,432. We're almost at the initial starting pledge, or like our goal. We're almost at our goal, chat. And so Ron might be getting ready to flip that over. He's probably getting ready to update this once we get to 15. That's what I would expect is that he's getting that ready. Mm. All in. Thanks, Matt Nuke. I'm just following up on chat here. Hopefully we get to see some stuff. Yes, Ron will, hopefully he appears soon. Yeah, I'll pledge for 10 collector's boxes. Almost there. All right, here, Trasharama put in the, there you go. Trash put in a good Dungeon Dwellers history. He says, history of Dungeon Dwellers. Dungeon Dwellers was a miniature line owned by Heritage, which created by merger of two companies. Heritage Models owned by Jim Oden and Cleve Burton, and Custom Cast owned by Duke Siegfried. Oh, Seifried. In 1977, I didn't know it went back that far. The Dungeon Dweller line began production in the later months of 1979, showing up in dealer catalogs in 1980. It continued production until business closed in the summer of 1982. So I know that Reaper Miniatures got the license and things like that for Dungeon Dweller RPG from Heritage. I know that we inherited a lot of Heritage stuff, got the license and things for that. So I don't know exactly what year and stuff that happened. I wish I knew more. Let's go, Nico says. Thursday at 1:30, I agree. We might come up with a day. I might talk to Ron about a day each week to do a Kickstarter update video stream. And that way we can put it in the updates as well. I think that'd be a good idea, especially Thursday because it's before the Friday. Ron likes to do his updates on Friday just because that's a good day leading into the weekend for him to compile everything to do the Kickstarter updates on the weekend. I need to refresh. I'm refreshing. Trust me. Let's do 15224. Congratulations, we did it. We funded. That's it. We can just close it there. Boom. We funded. So I know that the funding goal is to initially get all of the books and all that stuff to help pay for all the book costs and things like that to get everything made. So shout out to being funded, chat. Yeah, I will trash. Let's see if he updated the map. He probably pre-updated it. No, he didn't. Ron, I know you're listening. Update the page. Dang it. I know that he's sitting at his desk. I know he's listening. I know he's listening. But I mean, we don't have very much time left. Let's see, what time is it? 1:45. So we have another probably 10 minutes or so to kind of dilly-dally around while we look at this ticker go up. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you guys are on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, don't be afraid to ask questions in chat. I will be compiling those, especially comments on the Kickstarter as well. I see 12 comments already. So I'll be compiling all those and answering them with Ron and Mr. Wolf whenever they can get on. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Even if I don't know the answer, we will find out the answer and get a lot more information. Bake sales are doing it all wrong. Hardcover books is where it's at. That was quick. Yeah, how long did that take? Funded in 46 minutes, 45 minutes. We'll give a leeway there. Funded in 45 minutes. Thanks everybody that has backed. Dr. Bob asks, will there be a Reaper Live this week? You know what? I'm going to talk to Ron and see if we can do not a Reaper Live, but a Reaper DDRPG live stream on this Thursday. Same time as Reaper Live would be, but instead it would be a DDRPG focus with Mr. Wolf, if he can get on, and Ron and myself maybe. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But we'll show off we'll probably show off the models that come in the collector's box, and I'll bring over some of the, we'll ask them all these questions that you guys are asking in chat. So I think that'd be a good thing to do this Thursday. I'll talk to Ron about doing that. If not this Thursday, it will happen sometime this week. But I'm gonna ask Ron if he wants to do Thursday at the normal Reaper Live time. Kim says it's great to see the artist credited. Yes, I think because we have all of the people that did all of our art and everything like that. You're right. There's no credit to the editors. I will message Ron about that because I believe Rhonda did a lot of the editing, so she'll be streaming right after this, right after me. I know that she did a lot of the editing, and Ron does a lot of the editing as well. So I would expect maybe just those three, Ron, Ed, and Rhonda, or I'm sorry, Ron, Joe, and Rhonda. I'm not sure if anybody else did, but I have a strong suspicion that it's those three. But we can ask Ron. I'll ask Ron when we do our follow-up stream. Kim? Yes, Dr. Bob. That's why he has other people look at it. So the media got updated. We're seeing live updates to the page right now. So I know Ron's over there feverishly working on the page. But so if you guys go to the media section here on the Kickstarter page, you'll see Ron and Joe talking about DDRPG on the Crow's Nest, number 71. This was the ReaperCon 2023 Kickstarter announcement. So they did like a small little 35-40 minute segment talking about the books and showing off some of the pages, and kind of talking about some of the systems as chat was asking questions. This was ReaperCon 2022. We did a streamed session with a lot of members that came to ReaperCon to play DDRPG. And so this is a good like 3-hour video of a playtest, ReaperCon 2022. This is the DDRPG playtest 1, 2, and 3. So this was a playtest that we did with some of our employees here at Reaper. So you can see it has part 1, 2, and 3 of all of those. And you can see all of us playing here. This was a fun time. I really enjoyed playing on stream and playing DDRPG. This is when I learned about all of the initiative systems and things like that. This was very fun. So if you have a good time to listen to it at work or something like that, I would suggest listening to part 1, 2, and 3. But if you want to know a little bit more information about certain questions, these videos up here are for you. Let's see what's down here. Okay, yeah, so just about the team again. So I'll ask Ron to update editors. I think is what Kim says. Kim, I'll ask him to add a little editor section here because there is the artist and all that stuff. But I'll ask him to add the editors section. Let's see if anything else got updated, chat. This didn't get updated yet, but you know we're working on it. Ron's a busy man. He's gonna be busy all day, but we'll get there. Ron, if you're listening and you want to come on and say a thank you before we end, that would be nice. Let's see. What are we at now? 17,665, chat. 17,665. In the following up Kickstarters, we'll have a ticker just like we normally do. Oh, it did get updated. I thought I just refreshed. Let's go. He did it. Let's open a new tab here so we can look at it a little closer. So we got the Charnel Grub at 25K. And then we have the Adventure A Ton of Trouble. A Ton of Trouble. It's an adventure. So that's a whole adventure add-on. Probably comes with maybe some miniatures if I had to guess. I'm just guessing. Charnel Grub miniature probably. I wonder if there's a preview on the page. Normally, Ron likes to do previews of what the stretch goals are going to be. They're not down here. But normally he likes to do like stretch goal stuff. And that will be updated throughout the day. Obviously, he can't do it all at once, but he will update it as the day goes on. I know that he's probably really ecstatic that we reached our goal. I know that he was kind of nervous. Ron leading up to this was kind of nervous. Talking to him last week, you know, this is his kind of pride and joy. This is kind of like his big project that he's been working on. So I know that this really pleases him that we got funded. Oh, nice. Thank you, Z. Tub of Trouble. With the Ron Hot Tub Mini? Yeah, Polonius, Gene. A, a tub of trouble. No, there is an update. Perfect. The first update. Perfect. We'll check that out. We still got a little bit. We still got probably another couple of minutes before we end here. But yes, there's the charnel grub. That will be the unlock at 25K. Perfect. Ron's quick on the updates today. More minis to be unlocked. So if this gets unlocked and you got the collector's box, this will automatically be added to your collector's box. Or if you got the miniatures pledge goal, all the unlocked miniatures will be added to your pledge goal in those two. But yes, don't forget to go to the comments and leave comments. Like I said, there is still a large FAQ on this Kickstarter. There's a huge FAQ, especially over on reapermini.com. But if you go over to the Kickstarter page and leave a comment, I will be pulling important questions for the next live stream that we do with Ron and Mr. Wolf. Let's see. Hey, Wayne, how's it going? He got the collector's box. Thank you, Wayne. We're seeing the comments as we come in. That's a good question. I'll ask that. Last minute questions before we start to wrap up here. But like I said, on all of our social medias, on Facebook, YouTube, in the comment section, Twitch, I have all the comments here. But I will collect all those and we'll do a more in-depth question and answering session and kind of walkthrough of DDRPG in a later date, probably later this week, I hope. I'm going to talk to Ron about Thursday. But yes, stay tuned. Rhonda Bender will be doing her stream Beyond the Kit. We'll be streaming later, right after this, right at roughly, what time is it? Roughly 2 o'clock, so in about 5 minutes. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to get out of here so we can start getting her stream prepped and she can get ready and things like that. So thanks, you guys, for hanging out with me today. I know this was kind of a little bit of a shamble, but it is what it is. Thanks for funding, and I hope you guys enjoy DDRPG and expect a lot more live streams and video updates and things like that for this Kickstarter. I'll be in the comments section as well as Ron and Mr. Wolf answering questions and things like that. Hey, look, we're almost 5K away from the next stretch goal for the charnel grub. But yes, we'll get out of here so we can get ready for Rhonda's stream. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Bye. Enjoy Rhonda's stream.